So now you know how CSS overwrites different things in different ways. So you have classes overwrite a tag selector, you have IDs that override the classes, and then you have the inline styles that overwrite both of those things. So what do I want you to actually do? Well, let's just say we have a file that has some content in it. I want you to use CSS to style it. Now, if you're a beginner, just use it in the style sheet here. If you're more advanced, you can experiment with overriding things. Just experiment. You don't have to have it in your final website, of course. So here I might say, okay, I want all of my headings to be a particular color. And that should change them all to that kind of steel blue color. Great. With the image, I do recommend you change the width of that, and you can either do that by styling an image tag like this, or here I'm going to add a class. So I've got my image tag here, and I'm going to put the attribute class equals, and I might say cat image. And then I have to create a custom class here called cat image, and I might say width 100%. And this will make it look way too large, but it will be very handy when we start doing layouts, because any column I have, it's going to be 100% of the column width, and we'll talk more about that when we go into layouts. Now, if I wanted to also have a border, and I'm going to put all three values into the same one, so I will go and get another color here. So I put the color in, I state if I want it to be solid or dashed or whatever, and then I give it a width, and I might say 10 pixels. That should make it quite wide. Now the problem here, you see how we've now got a scroll bar? It's too wide. Now in a previous recording of a class, I actually reduced it. I was very lazy. I just went, well, percentages and pixels don't work. I can't just deduct 10 pixels. I'm just going to put 95%. But that's a very lazy way of doing it. What you can do if you're more advanced is we actually have calc, which is handy. And for calc, I can say 100% minus 10 pixels. And you see how now, I mean, it's a little bit of overlap there, but basically it's the right width because it calculates this, and that works for modern browsers, so that's very, very handy. I might also, and I'm going to show you something really cool you can do. So one of the previous videos I did border radius, and if I put something like 20 pixels, we'll see we've got a rounded corner. Now have a look what happens if I put 50%. What do you think would happen? There we go, because now 50% of the width has been rounded, which basically turns it into a great big circle. You know, sometimes it looks really, really bad. Sometimes it looks quite effective. So you can also do that with your CSS. And of course, you can overwrite where needed. If you want to use a different color, just say I want to use this navy color. Of course, I can go in here and say class equals, and I could even, so I could create a new class over here called navy, and then over here in my class I just say navy, and then if I scoot on down, there we go, one of them is navy. The other thing I can do is actually say this is going to be the background color, and our text is actually going to be, oh goodness me, color white. Because of course we want to ensure we've got a good contrast there. And so I want you to go through your document and decide how are you going to help create a hierarchy of headings using color to both differentiate the different levels of hierarchy, so your H2s from your H3s, and how are you going to use color to draw the eye to it. Now, just a word of warning, don't use all background colors. There can be a lot of problems with doing that because often people will then put body text underneath that is also white, and if you do that, you're not drawing the eye to the heading whatsoever. So it's fine to have some sparing examples where you've got white on a color background, but what we're ideally looking for is this, where you're using color on a white or pale background so that we can see how the eye is being drawn to the headings by color. Similarly, if you have a black background to your entire website, you can use color to draw the eye to headings such as a yellow heading, and then the body text should be white so that it's the heading standing out. So just to recap, use the CSS you've learned to apply color to the headings, to apply a background color where that's useful, and then you can also have control over the images.